Welcome to the Furious Futurist, the channel where I pick apart the present to find the future we were promised in the past. A future that 1992's The Lawnmower Man depicted as one where virtual reality could enhance human intelligence to the very edge of its godlike potential. However, we now find ourselves unceremoniously dumped into a future where Mark Zuckerberg wants to entrap us all in a virtual advertising matrix that could dumb down human intelligence to the very edge of eradication. And I am furious! Greetings, my furious friends. I am the Furious Futurist, and I just want to start this episode by saying a huge thank you to everyone who recently subscribed. It really does mean a massive amount to me, and I promise I'll try to keep being as funny and as informative as is humanly possible. So without further ado, you may have noticed that Facebook recently changed their name to Meta, an unremarkable fact until you realize that this change is tied to a vision that Mark Zuckerberg himself had shortly after hatching out of a lizard's egg, to create an alternative reality where users can travel to any destination the human imagination can conceive of. But how far away is this new universe, and would you download your consciousness into Zark Metaberg's Feta book? And if we're fully jacked into Muckerberg's slave new world, will we even need human bodies anymore? I mean, just look at the incredible realism in the current iteration of his latest alternate world, and stay tuned for an exclusive interview with the virtual Zuck later in the show. But for now, let's talk about the Metaverse itself. Well, first of all, it's an anagram of meat serve, which is terrifying on a number of levels, but secondly, and most importantly of all, it probably is going to happen. Despite the fact that the company don't own the concept of the metaverse, and the fact that the company's shares nosedove a few weeks ago, Mark Zuckerberg and his team plan to have a fully immersive virtual world in place by 2030. And if the popularity of the the Meta Quest platform is anything to go by, then the concept of 2D or pancake gaming will be a distant memory within a decade or so. And just look at how the mobile phone gripped the attention of the entire globe within a handful of years. So imagine how addictive a virtual world will be, where you can live out any of your wildest dreams and most opulent fantasies. Now, whether the future will be virtual or augmented reality remains to be seen, but my bet is that it will be a blend of the both, and Meta's labs are racing against their competitors to corner all corners of this uncharted and potentially insanely lucrative territory. But how exactly will the Zuckerverse make money? Well, you might be bombarded by an onslaught of constant advertising, as well as buying virtual clothing and items for your personal avatar or home, exactly like you'd shop in the real world. Also, online shopping for real-world items could involve strolling through a virtual mall with your real-life items you've just purchased being sent home to you by drone. VR manufacturer HTC is already working on its own Viveverse, and tech giant Apple are said to be developing their own foray into virtual reality. But will these universes cross over, or will we begin living in multiple multiverses separated by financial or operational borders? And I should point out here that I've already signed up to this dystopian nightmare because I do own a Quest headset, so I've handed over my Zuckerbucks and bought into Zark Metabeck's Faceverse. But when will we get to a full deep dive virtual reality experience indistinguishable from the real world? Well, perhaps technologies like Elon Musk's Neuralink will remove the need for headsets and inject VR directly into your frontal lobes. Computer game graphics have recently leapt forward in their fidelity with the advent of the latest Unreal Engine, which was recently showcased, somewhat ironically, on a game based on the Matrix film series. But if we're reduced to a zombified human husk, only kept alive to host a brain that's fully plumbed into a virtual universe, what horrific effects could this have on our physical and indeed mental health? I don't think we fully thought this through. Well, I suppose the final word on this topic should go to the virtual Zuck himself when I recently asked him, "Clark Butterberg, is it true that you want to enslave the entire human race in a virtual prison world where our corporeal bodies wither away as we pay you to live out our short and meaningless existences as pretend virtual billionaires before our internal organs and dwindling sanity crumble into nothingness?" Well, I suppose I'll just enjoy it while it lasts. And while I contact my lawyers in preparation for the inevitable lawsuit that's going to be leveled against me after this video, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. But please take a second to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. And if you have anything you'd like me to discuss, or if you have any futuristic technologies you'd like to send me to review, please leave a comment down below. I am the Furious Futurist, and you can check out some of my other videos here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, my furious friends!